Good morning, everybody. It's Emily. It is September 3rd, and I'm here with your daily wisdom shot. I've just drawn some cards from the Animal Tarot cards, which I haven't used in a long time. It's the Doreen Virtue one. Yes, I still use her cards, even though she said to burn them all. I will not be burning my cards. And I've also used one of my first decks that I ever got, the Ascension cards from Diana Cooper, because I thought some of you might connect well to them. So what we've got today is the Strength card, the Moon, and the Nine of Winter, which is like the Nine of Swords. And what I'm getting from these is that, first of all, it's kind of highlighting that Lionsgate portal we just went through a few weeks ago, because I think some of us are still sort of feeling the effects of that, like whatever was set in motion there, it's kind of coming to a culmination right now. And I feel, oh my gosh, I don't know if you can hear my stomach roaring, but it is roaring like a lion because I am starving. Anyway, I feel like it's really like coming to a head at this point. And we're just asked to really remain steady and strong, to work with our intuition, to follow our intuition, to stay calm, to stay focused, to watch the Strength card in this deck is number 11. And that tells me like we need to watch our thoughts, to stay focused in the now, and to keep our thoughts in a vibration of peace, if possible, a high vibration, so that we're then creating from that high vibrational place. The Moon is coming up, which tells me that, again, we need to focus back in on our intuition and follow that, and that certain things are about to be illuminated. We're just at that point. We're just at that tip of the iceberg. And since I do one of these readings every day, I feel like I've said this a lot of times, but that's because that's kind of the energy we've been in for a little while, meaning, maybe a week or so. I see the butterfly there, which is like information coming in, guidance coming in, and that the moon is shining down those rays on the lynx cat. So it's really important to be trusting your intuition right now. You might not see where you're going. You might not be able to quite see what's around the corner, but that illumination is coming up. And you're going to have a better vision as to where you're going. I'm like focused in on the water now too, which is kind of reminding me to keep your emotions as calm as possible, that those are really going to affect the outcome of whatever you're dealing with, and keeping them calm keeps you in that vibration of peace. Like, emotions are real, but they are also part of what creates the reality, your reality. So if you want to create the reality where there's peace and abundance, you're going to need to pull in the emotions that reflect that. We've got the Nine of Winter next, which is like the Nine of Swords, and you see the choppy water there, and that's like the energy of anxiety, and in the typical tarot, it's the sleepless nights, the anxious feelings. So what I want to say is, like, that's the energy that we need to start to release. Like, just know that the illumination is right around the corner. There's the moon in that card as well. So we really need to try to put those emotions in check by grounding ourselves. This is the sea lion also. And I just find it interesting that all of these cards are feline of some sort. So we have the lion, we have the lynx, we have the sea lion, which is not really feline, but it uses, the word lion. And the underlying energy for today, the is the tabby cat, the Princess of Autumn, which is the same as the Princess of Coins, which came in yesterday. And I feel like that's the sort of the same energy, the sort of gratitude for the mundane, gratitude for the things that we often take for granted. And also, it's a really grounded start. It's a really grounded sort of that seed of stability coming in, and that is the underlying energy of everything going on right now. So I feel like even though this feels like a time of turmoil, this feels like you are isolated on this rock in a choppy sea, you're not really. The rock is there. You are supported by your own, you're supporting yourself. Like, you have the ability to support yourself, and you have the ability to come through this with a greater degree of stability than you've ever had in the past. So don't forget that. Do not get washed away in the emotions and the mental fears that are coming up right now. Everything's about to be illuminated. And so you've got to really channel that inner strength, that inner Maasai lion, as the strength card says. And it's actually the Maasai lion and lamb, which is interesting because that brings in that sense of calm and peace also. Like, you really need to embody that and just confront the fears that are coming up, knowing that they're not real. They're just the illusion that everything is out of order and everything is up in the air, because it might be right now, and only because there's a better thing coming in, only because this is a time of shaking up all the things that are stale and stagnant that came up during the Lionsgate portal opening, and really throughout the entire summer, or throughout Leo season. And those things are getting resolved. So stay grounded. Great opportunities are coming in for you with the Princess of Autumn. And you have a lot of support, and we have to just keep focusing on bringing our vibration up, working on allowing our energy to ascend and that really means to, like, raising the vibration out of this third dimensional consciousness where things like anxiety and sleepless nights are so common. We have to transcend that, just as not just as a culture, but as a species, as the species of human beings, and as people living on this planet, and beings living on this planet, because believe me, the animals are going through this as well. As an animal communicator, I've definitely experienced that being something that animals are also experiencing. The ascension cards I pulled, these will resonate with some of you and maybe not with others. These are kind of like get on the weird end of the spectrum, whereas most of my readings will tend toward healing and your personal development, which is a little more, I think, easy for the larger group to grasp. But I have a lot of different aspects of myself, and part of me is that kind of more grounded shamanic energy that I bring in, and the other part of me is this really out there, like multi-dimensional, high vibrational energy. And part of that is because the healing energy I channel now is like my own modality, and it is 18th dimensional, highest of the high, kind of collective creator source. It's source energy that I bring down. So that really like changed my entire perspective when I started channeling that energy. I started using Reiki, which is fantastic, and it is high vibrational. It's just a more accessible vibration, I think, to the general public. And so I've sort of moved into this other place with my own personal healing work. That's not to say that anything is better or worse than the other. Each kind of healing has its place and has the people and the beings that will resonate with it. So please don't take what I just said in that way. But I resonate more these days with some of these different multidimensional energies, let's just say. So anyway, the first card that I pulled is Sirius, and that's a number 17, which is a number that I see everywhere. 1117, 117, 17. That keeps coming up for me all over the place. And also, interestingly enough, Sirius is related to the lion energy, which relates to the Lion's Gate and relates to all the feline lion energies that we just pulled out today. So I feel like there's a really strong message to sort of flip back to my more shamanic roots to embody and channel that lion energy, and even just the feline energy of independence and strength and intelligence and stability and resilience. So you think about a cat has 9 lives, right? Or they always land on their feet. You're landing on your feet. So keep that vibration, and that will help you through this time. But anyway, Sirius. So this card says, the star system of Sirius holds 12 of the universal keys to enlightenment and ascension. When you access and comprehend them, you become a master of the universe. This card invites you to visit the training schools and universities of Sirius in your sleep in order to develop your higher mind, access the spiritual laws of alchemy and magic, understand sacred geometry, and tune into angel sonics and higher dimensions. This is an opportunity to learn through the inner planes about spiritual technology and bring it forward for the new golden age. And the affirmation is, I am open to the higher wisdom of Sirius. So be open to that higher wisdom to help you through the ascension process, and also to channeling in that lion being, or that lion energy that you're going to need today. And really, these readings don't necessarily only talk about what you need today, but it's kind of like a general circular circumference of days that this energy will be useful. And indeed, if you come across this reading at any time, it should resonate with you because of the law of attraction. You've selected this reading to listen to at any time because the energies reflect the guidance that you need at that time. Okay, so next card is Commander Ashtar. Commander Ashtar is in charge of the intergalactic fleet, spaceships that patrol and protect this universe. His mothership enters Earth through Machu Picchu, the two-way interdimensional portal that he oversees. Commander Ashtar is connecting with you through this card and inviting you to view the planets, stars, and galaxies with cosmic eyes. Breathe in the subtle energy and wisdom of the stellar world and allow it to affect your chakra system and ignite your consciousness. You are blessed for this card. This is a card of expanded enlightenment and call to intergalactic service. So whether you connect with that or not, it still is a call to allow your chakra system to upgrade and to continue to clear and raise its own vibration so that you are able to better embody your 5th or higher dimensional self. I often talk about your higher self as 5th dimensional, but in all honesty, it can be anchored in different dimensions. So it may be an even higher dimensional, higher self. And that really just depends on your own soul's vibrations, and that you were created with and bring with you into every lifetime. Next card is Lady Portia, who's an ascended master. Lady Portia is known as the goddess of justice. As a lord of karma, she tempers justice with mercy and balance. In order to act with these golden qualities, you must let go of your own projections and prejudices and see the whole picture. When you receive this card, Lady Portia is calling on you to review an aspect of your life or relationships to bring it fully into the 5th dimension. Be generous-hearted, open-minded, and fair, and step aside from judgment, and then your ascension path will be showered with gold. Affirmation is, I am fair-minded, open-hearted, and non-judgmental. This is a huge thing. Like, I can always tell who is already on their path and who isn't by the amount of judgment they pass on a minute-by-minute basis, because I work, and this is, again, by saying this, it's almost like I'm judging, but that's not really my intention. I'm just sort of like trying to outline or trying to illustrate for you how this feels. And I remember a time when I was at that same vibration where I was just frustrated and passing judgment second by second, because in my day job, running an animal rescue, I deal with a lot of really frustrating, upsetting, or difficult things. And it's so easy to try to relieve that pressure by passing constant judgment. People like to call this venting, but that's passing judgment. And it never makes you feel better. Let's be honest. It never helps. So what does help is releasing that judgment, raising your own vibration so that none of those things affect you in the same way. And that's really what I'm getting out of this card. And it's kind of the same advice that came through the tarot cards, that the things are about to be illuminated, and we're called to really be our own rock right now, and allow just release the turbulent emotions that are coming up, and know that the fear and anxiety is an illusion. It is not your full reality. So remain grounded. And from there, you're going to be more able to weather the storms or weather the turbulent waters. And that's not to say something terrible is coming up or whatever. Whatever this is, you're already in it, so you don't have to worry about something coming about. It's just that all of that stuff is illusion. It's that easy to step out of it and to bring yourself up. Try my meditation that I just posted the other day for anchoring your higher self into your physical body. Once you do that, it is so much easier to raise yourself up out of this third dimensional energy of anxiety and worry and fear. Okay, so the last card is Neptune. Neptune is the planet of higher spirituality, and the wisdom of Atlantis and Lemuria is held within its ascended aspect. You are blessed, for you only receive this card when you are ready to receive their information. Your guidance is to tune into your Earth Star chakra, then continue with Neptune, the cosmic Earth Star chakra. Archangel Sandalphon oversees this center. He nurtures your divine potential and will help you download the spiritual light you are waiting for. This will expand your consciousness and greatly assist your ascension journey. The affirmation is, I attune to the wisdom of Atlantis and Lemuria held in Neptune. I remember reading these cards when I first got them, and I was really not in the place to really accept it at that time, and I just thought this was all so freaking weird. Because it totally sounds nuts. I'm sorry, I need a water. It totally sounds nuts. But forget the connotations associated with the different names of things, like Atlantis and Lemuria, might come across as like just fantasy or crazy or like new agey wackadoodle shit. And just try to let that go for a minute and just accept the vibrations of what that means. And it truly does help to bring you into this other dimension where you're vibrating higher and you're no longer stuck. And I'm not saying you don't want to be on this earth. Like, we're here on this earth to do a purpose. Like, being on this earth is important and necessary in this lifetime that we've chosen. And we're here for a purpose. So I'm not saying like you should just unground yourself and leave, or like unground yourself and float away. We need to be here for a purpose, but we need to learn to simultaneously ground our physical bodies and allow our vibration to raise. That is what we're meant to be doing at this time. And so connecting in with these energies helps us to do that. Some of us are also working through different karmic issues that are related to the idea of Atlantis and Lemuria. That's maybe for another conversation. I have a mix of viewers, so I try not to get too weird, but also, believe me, reality is weirder than fiction. So I'm just saying. In any case, this is our advice for the day. And I actually feel like I want to spend a little time, just a few minutes, helping you pull in this high dimensional energy. So we're going to do that now. The reading is concluded at this point. If you want to stay on this video to accept the high vibrational energy, and accept the healing energy that I use to help you on your way today, then please continue to listen. It might be silent for periods of time, but I will try to also walk you through a meditation while we pull in this energy. So, like I said before, I started my conscious healing work. Like, I feel like when I was born already with an aspect of being awake, because I've always had a connection. I've always had essentially paranormal experiences since I have memory. So, and I've certainly had other lifetimes in which I have been able to work with these other energies. But, you go through a lifetime and you have various stages of becoming awake to your true potential. And so even though I was born already being awake to certain things, I've had a number of different awakening processes through my lifetime. And one of the earlier ones involved me learning Reiki. And I learned that when I was still a teenager. And it really woke me up to energy healing. So that was my first experience with energy healing, other than having been, brought up Catholic and my mom bringing us to different healing masses and stuff. So I did experience that through the Catholic faith when I was much younger, but there was some disconnect there. Like, I just didn't connect with it, or it seemed really out there, or it seemed like something I was not good enough to receive or have or do. So then I learned Reiki, and over the next several years, I became more and more proficient with that. I started channeling more and more. I had more and more experiences. I connected with more and more ascended masters and angels and things like that. And eventually I had eventually it's like my record keepers and my angels and my highest light beings felt that it was time to introduce me to this new energy. And it actually hurt physically when I first came in contact with it. It gave me a migraine for 3 days because it was so high vibrational, and it really felt like it was burning through my crown chakra. And I understood it as the same energy that I use in theta healing, which is like the creator, except it was channeled through my body in a different way, and it was like alchemized through my body in such a way that once it was passed on to the people that I was working with, that it was not painful to them. So it's like it gets stepped down a number of times, and it got stepped down again through my body so that the physical bodies of the people and plants and animals that I have worked with could accept it in a comfortable way. I was told by my guides that it is an 18th dimensional energy, which I had no idea what that meant at the time. I just accepted it. And through using it, I've come to understand that it is to me, I see it as the presence that most people refer to as God. It is, to me, a non-individuated collective energy, and it is like the highest light energy. So it may be the collective of everything, of all that is, right? So in theta healing, we talk about the creator of all that is. This is just that. And it channels through my energy system as a very, I guess, very solid pillar of white, golden white light that comes down through my crown chakra and works its way through my chakra system and then comes out typically my hands and feet the same way that Reiki energy is used. So it's almost like I learned to use this energy, which is accessible to all of us. But I started channeling it differently. I channeled it as if it were Reiki energy, if that makes any sense. So anyway, that is how I use it at this time. And that's only one way that I use it. I use it in other ways too. It also is an unlimited source of wisdom and unconditional love and divine love. So most of my messages come through that if they're not coming through the Akashic records. So I usually work with the Akashic records or that energy in providing messages to my clients. There are other groups. I have a number of groups of guides, some that are my soul group that are very close to me in vibration, some that are angelic, some that I call highest light beings. And let's be honest, folks, those are probably multidimensional, like they seem angelic, but it's also like kind of ET. So it's, they're just multidimensional beings. They're other beings, and there's not a big difference between like the angelic and those, and except for that they're all very high vibrational. There's nothing low vibrational that comes through, and believe me when I tell you, I will know it, because I know I have had experiences where when I was lower vibrational that I know what those things feel like. So that there's no fear. There should be no fear that anything that's coming through is not of the highest vibration. So with that, I want to get started. So if you want to receive this healing, please just say yes. And go ahead and take a few deep breaths and place your feet on the floor if you're sitting up, and relax your neck. And breathe in and breathe in so that the breath really connects down in your abdomen. Just feel that place, that lowest place where the breath comes in to your abdomen. And allow your energy to really ground right there. You're going to feel like maybe a warm, solid spot just kind of beginning to grow in that area. And that's helping to ground your energy. And keep breathing in. Or I should say in and out. Don't wait for me to tell you to breathe. Just breathe when you're ready to breathe. Okay. So take your energy and send it down into the floor, through your tailbone, all the way into the earth and through the topsoil and through all the rocks and the layers of the water and into the mantle, which is rock, and down into the hot molten core of the earth. And just allow that line of energy from your body to magnetize into the hot core of the earth. And know that you belong here. You belong on this earth. You chose to come to this earth and incarnate here for a purpose. And once you feel your energy magnetize there and just sort of sink in, draw up all that warm energy. It's very nurturing. Draw it all up that same line of energy. And just sort of see it come back up and enter back into your body through your tailbone and up into your spine. And as you breathe, just feel yourself breathing that energy all the way up your spine. You can draw it up with a single breath if you want. All the way up, and you'll kind of feel it activate in your third eye chakra and bring it up to your crown, where it will kind of tingle in your crown chakra. And once it reaches your crown, I want you to go ahead and bring it all the way up through all the layers of the atmosphere, through all the layers of existence. And they might look a little bit like stars and darkness, and then bright lights. And maybe more stars and darkness and more bright lights. All the way up through into the bright dimension where the angels are, where the angelic realm is. And I illustrate this as like going upwards, but in reality, all the dimensions are right here, right now. It's just easier to really feel them if you can see yourself going upwards through them, because it is a raising of the vibration. There is an upwards movement. But just know that you're surrounded at all times by all dimensions. And you're going to continue upwards. Through that place where all the Akashic records are kept. You'll notice that this level feels very warm. Not hot, but warm as in comforting. All the lords of the records are here, and they can be individuated into separate consciousnesses, or they can be seen as a group consciousness. But either way, it's very loving and inviting. It's all your highest, some of your highest guidance. We're going to continue through that, through the place where some of the Reiki energies are kept, the symbols for Reiki and other healing modalities. I feel a lot of rainbow energy here, sort of that prism energy that you can pull through your body. That is the energy that I worked with between having learned Reiki and to where what I'm working with now is this high vibrational rainbow energy, which to me is joy. Excuse me. We're going to move up through that. And you're going to step through a trap door. And in that trap door is this high vibrational white, blue-white pearlescent light. And when you get there, there's like no other beings around. It's just you and this high vibrational light. You see other beings around, you have to keep going. So I want you to attach the same energy cord right here in this energy. Just sort of tack it there in that vibrational grid. And then we're going to pull all of that high vibrational energy down, all the way down through that line that you just created, back through the angelic realm, which is the same place where I kind of see, like, where we talk about when pets pass away and they go over the rainbow bridge. It's kind of where I see all of those energies as well. That fifth dimensional energy. We're going to pass all the way back through that, back into our own energy body, in through the crown chakra and into the body And I want you to anchor this energy directly in your heart space. Where in the same area, but in another dimension, your higher self is already in existence, already anchored. And you're going to continue breathing and just allow that energy to expand outside your body to encompass everyone and everything that's in your immediate area. The entire building that you're in. Sort of feel all the energy in that same building just raising to meet the vibration of this fifth or higher dimensional higher self. Then you're going to let it expand to your neighborhood, to your city, and to your state or territory or province, and to your country, to the entire world, to the solar system. Really breathe into that. To the galaxy. To the universe of all that is, and the multiverse of all that is. Okay, now you're ready. Now we're going to receive this energy, and the energy is going to come down to you through that line we just created. I'm just placing the command that these energies be received by anyone who has said yes to receiving this healing energy, and that it continue for as long or short as is comfortable and necessary for your highest and best good. It's commanded that it only works toward your highest and best good, and for whatever you're ready and willing to accept now, at whatever time you're listening to this transmission. You may feel it coming through your crown chakra now. It might feel like a intense tingling. You may feel it coming out your hands and feet. I'm feeling some of that rainbow energy actually coming in as well this time. Somebody must need that particular energy who's listening to this. And sort of a violet ball of energy is moving through as well. Just see what you see. It may be different for you. We're each accepting now what we're ready to accept, and what we need to accept, and what we're agreeing to accept at this time. If you want to post your experiences in the comments, I would love to see what everybody's experiencing. I can definitely feel my telepathic chakras are clearing a little bit right now. For me, I use telepathy a lot with my animal work, but you have telepathic chakras, which are right around your temple area. They're connected to your third eye chakra. And I can feel mine receiving a healing at this time. It could be that one of you is receiving a healing, and that's part of why I'm feeling it. If you're feeling that now, then just know that you're opening up your telepathy more. I'm also feeling a lot of heart chakra healing right now. So some of you were in need of, I'm hearing grief, healing of grief. So please just allow that. If you would like to receive this healing from grief, just say yes. It's a very intense third eye healing happening right now as well. So if you would like to receive this healing in your third eye, please just say yes. Now we're moving into the sacral chakra. It's just picking and choosing where it wants to go, and I'm just saying as it comes up, someone is clearing out sexual trauma. And if that's you, or if you would like to receive this healing in the sacral chakra, including any traumatic births, someone had some traumatic births, that's being cleared as well. When your children were born, it might have caused a lot of physical trauma on your body. And if that's you and you would like to receive this healing in the sacral chakra, please just say yes. Others have been victims of sexual assault and require this healing in the sacral chakra. If you'd like to receive that, please just say yes. Others of you are, we're still in the sacral chakra, we're receiving healing in the sacral chakra for past lives where you were abandoned, where you were an orphan or abandoned in some way. And there is a rift, a crack in the energy of that sacral chakra. And we're going to heal that right now through the energy of all that is, which has the power to create instantaneous healing wherever we ask or believe that it can take place. And if you would like to receive an instantaneous healing in the sacral chakra for issues of abandonment and being orphaned, please just say yes. And I am moving into the root chakra now, where I feel someone needs to receive a healing related to resources and, what's the word I'm looking for? Poverty. Related to poverty. This may be coming from a past life and streaming into this life. We want to just clear out all of that past life energy now so that you can really ground and receive your abundance, which is coming in from the universe. If you would like to receive a healing related to any abundance issues and any perceived lack of support from the physical world, and say yes now. You're fully and completely supported by the earth on which we live and by the universe above. And you're fully and completely connected through your Hairline which is the line of energy that we just connected at the beginning of this meditation, to both. So you're receiving the energy and support and nurturing from each of these dimensions. I was not drawn to all of the chakras in this meditation, so let's just generally say that if any other chakra requires clearing, healing, or balancing at this time for our highest and best good, please just say yes to receive that healing. I'm sending this high vibrational frequency of light through my hands and feet into the earth and to all of you until the healing is complete. Even though we're going to close this video session now, you will continue to receive the healing energy until the healing is complete. Thank you all for being with me today, and I would really love to hear in the comments what you heard, saw, or felt, as this is definitely an important part of receiving an instantaneous healing, is to witness it. And by sharing your comments, you will be sharing your witnessing of that healing energy. Thank you all for being here. We'll talk soon.